Chapter 23. Zac pulled off the blanket, sat up and clipped his seatbelt in. After about 15 minutes they arrived at Tommy's house in a downtrodden part of the town, and the car came to a stop. Rhea switched off the engine and lights, got out of the car and then peered through the driver's side window. "Stay here," she said, pointing a finger at him like someone who was telling a dog to stay. Zac did as he was told, and Rhea walked across the road, reached the front door and then pressed the doorbell. The porch light switched on and the silhouette of a large man stood behind the glass panel in the door. It opened and fat Tommy stood in front of Rhea. "Oi, what's your game? Do you have any idea what the time is?" he shouted. Zac couldn't hear what Rhea's response was, but it didn't seem to please him. "Who the hell do you think you are?" Zac could hear Tommy shouting. They chatted for a moment longer. Then, completely out of the blue, Tommy raised his arm and Zac could see he was holding a gun. Rhea walked into the house. Tommy looked from left to right to check no one had seen what was going on, and walked inside the door. A million thoughts went through Zac's mind. Was Rhea okay? What had he said? Why did he pull her inside the house? What was he going to do with her? What should Zac do now? He scanned the front of the house. It was a large bungalow with a neat garden, and the front door was next to the bay window. The lights were on, and Zac could see into the living room area. Wondering what on earth was going on and fearing for Rhea's life, Zac pondered on the situation for a brief moment. He watched, and he could see the man with his back against the front window inside the house. There was only one thing for it. Without hesitation, he clambered from the back seat into the driver's seat and started the engine. The motor growled as he pressed the accelerator pedal, and he slipped it into drive. With a quick turning of the steering wheel, he was soon hurtling towards the house without a single thought for himself. He just wanted to get in and get Rhea out. The car's crumple zone obliterated the front door of the house, making the car 6 inches shorter. Glass sprayed through the air as a mechanical beast contacted the front room windows, and the 2-ton chunk of propelling steel came to a halt. His ears ringing, he got out of the car and looked straight at Rhea. She looked downwards at the hulking man, and his gun was next to him on the floor. Dazed and confused, the man didn't even move when Zac picked up the gun. "Where is Mike Drummond?" asked Zac, aiming the gun at Tommy's head. "What the hell? You're dead. I killed you," said Tommy, trembling. "Well, now I'm back, and I have a score to settle," said Zac, with a menacing look on his face. "Why would I tell you?" replied the man, getting to his knees. "Freeze!" shouted Zac. "Don't move any further, or else." "Or else what?" said Tommy, calling his bluff. With a slow and deliberate movement, Zac pulled back the hammer on the pistol. The man stopped. "You wouldn't," said the man, standing on his feet. "He would," replied Rhea. "Look what he did to my car and your house." Zac moved the pistol to the right and squeezed the trigger. Plaster filled the air as the bullet hit the wall and smoke emptied from the barrel of the gun. He recentered the sights of the pistol on the man's head. Tommy leant back on his knees and went quiet, dread filling him as fast as the colour drained out of his face. He raised his arms, surrendering. "You wouldn't shoot an unarmed man, would you?" he asked with a look of fear. "Where is Mike Drummond?" Zac said firmly. "Answer me, or I will shoot." Rhea stepped between both men, blocking Zac's shot and facing Zac. "What are you doing? You can't do this," she said, pleading with him. Before Zac answered, Tommy stepped up and pointed the tip of a knife at Rhea's ribs, with his other arm around her neck. "Put the gun down or she gets it," he said with his London accent coming in really thick. Zac, completely thrown by the whole situation, lowered the weapon. As he lowered his arm, he saw an opportunity and took it. With a squeeze of the trigger, the bullet entered the man's leg, Blood splashed all over the wall behind him, and Tommy, completely surprised, dropped the knife and then fell backwards into a heap. Rhea quickly jumped to the side, and Zac pointed the pistol at him. "Where is Mike Drummond?" he shouted. "You shot me? I can't believe you shot me. You're dead, and you shot me," said the man holding his leg. "And I will do it again if you don't tell me where he is." Okay. I don't get paid enough for this. He's at the old cinema, in the basement." "You buried him in the basement? What the—" Zac fired another shot, this time at the floor close to Tommy's good leg. "Buried?" interrupted Tommy. "The tough old sod is still alive. He lived through the flood." He said it in an almost admirable tone. "We need to get there, but the car's a wreck," asked Rhea. "Give me your keys." Zac waved the gun at Tommy. "Here." He made a feeble attempt to toss them across what was left of the living room. They landed at Zac's feet, and he scooped them up, then headed towards the front door. "Phone?" demanded Rhea, with her arm outstretched. "It was on the coffee table until you drove into the house," he grunted. She looked around and picked it up off the floor, then shoved it into her pocket. "All right, let's go. He's not going anywhere," Zac said, looking at Rhea. She moved closer to Tommy and tore off one of his sleeves. "What the—" Rhea wrapped the tourniquet around his leg. "Hold it like this," she said, showing him how to twist it to stem the blood loss. Zac and Rhea left the house and got into Tommy's scruffy yellow hatchback.